Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Randy and I'm resuming a series where I go through each year and tell you my favorite album, my favorite song, my favorite movie, and my favorite television show from each year. I started in 1950, I'm all the way up to 1978. One caveat is I have to have a physical copy in my collection in order to pick it. And with the TV series, they are only eligible their debut year. Anyway, let's get to it. Just like last time, the last 1977, I decided to show the albums that I thought were under consideration for that year, and I thought I'd do that again to show you how great these years in the 70s were. So here are the albums that were under consideration but didn't quite make it in 1978. You got Steve Forbert, Alive on Arrival. Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes, Hearts of Stone. Queen, Jazz. Great O.V. Wright, The Bottom Line, great soul. Approved by the Motors, The Jam, All Mod Cons. A few on CD, Van Halen's Debut, Blondie, Parallel Lines, Bob Marley and the Wailers, Kaya. We've got Jerry Rafferty, City to City. Lou Reed, Street Hassle. Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. Billy Joel, 52nd Street. Nick Lowe, Pure Pop for Now People, are in the UK, The Jesus of Cool. Got Television and Adventure. I didn't think this one was too disco. Japan and Adolescent Sex. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Stranger in Town. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, You're Gonna Get It. The Kinks, Misfits. Peter Gabriel, some call it Scratch, I think. Dire Straits debut, Dire Straits. Boston, Don't Look Back. UFO, Obsession. Bob Dylan, Street Legal. The Talking Heads, More Songs About Buildings and Food. Styx, Pieces of 8. And The Clash, Give 'Em Enough Rope. Anyway, those are the ones that didn't quite make it, but they're all great albums. And now for my favorite albums. The fourth runner-up, The Cars and their debut album, one of the best debuts ever, taking a power pop approach to the punk and new wave influences that were swirling around. Almost every song has an infectious melody, and almost every song got radio play. It was ear candy with a kick, and some of it provided by Elliot Easton's superb guitar licks, a classic. My third runner-up, This Year's Model, from Elvis Costello. The follow-up to his debut album may be even better than that classic, especially with the addition of The Attractions, his own backing band. And it kicks off with No Action, with that great rhythm section of Pete Thomas on drums and Bruce Thomas on bass, revving things up, and Steve Naive killing it on the keyboards. I think Elvis upped the ante on This Year's Model, throwing in a bunch of genre influences. Fantastic album, This Year's Model, my third runner-up. All right, my second runner-up for 1978. It's John Prine and Bruised Orange. Produced by his good friend Steve Goodman. This is my favorite Prine album, with the great title track being one of his most moving songs. He has some fun with clever wordplay and humorous tunes like Ah Heck, Fish and Whistle, and That's the Way That the World Goes Round. It also has a classic for vintage film fans, the Shaggy Dog tale, Sabu Visits the Twin Cities Alone. Sabu is probably best known for playing Abu in The Thief of Baghdad from 1940. And my first runner-up for favorite album 1978 is Warren Zevon and his album Excitable Boy. This is my second favorite Zevon album, but it's probably his best known with his two most popular songs, and Werewolves of London and Lawyers, Guns, and Money. The soldier of fortune, mercenary persona, unleashed on a cynical world takes flight here with songs like Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner, Accidentally Like a Martyr, Vera Cruz, and the aforementioned Lawyers, Guns, and Money. He kind of had his own genre that combined classical music, especially in the orchestrations, and his passion for rock and folk music. Yeah. Warren Zevon, Excitable Boy. And my favorite album of 1978 is Darkness on the Edge of Town, Bruce Springsteen. There are many that think this is Springsteen's best album. I'm still partial to Born to Run, but it is a masterpiece with Springsteen at his most ferocious. It also produced many concert staples in the catchy Prove It All Night, Badlands, and The Promised Land. And there's a lot of fist pumping going on when he plays these in concert. There's also a lot of fire on tunes like Adam Raised a Cain and the title track, where you wonder how Springsteen's voice can ever recover. In all the mayhem, he also has this poignant ballad in Racing in the Street, just a classic masterpiece. I never tire of this album. Darkness on the Edge of Town, Bruce Springsteen. Now for my favorite song of 1978, the fourth runner-up from this album by Steve Young called No Place to Fall. And it's the third song on here called Dreamer. This has a special place for me as I saw Steve Young in a small venue and he took my song request for this song. He started saying like, oh, everybody's requesting ballads. But anyway, it's a great ballad that really fits his singing style. He's probably best known as a songwriter, as the Eagles covered his song Seven Bridges Road. Waylon Jennings covered Lonesome Henri and Me. But yeah, he has a wonderful voice, and check out Dreamer by Steve Young. My third runner-up, wish I had the album, but see if you can see it on here. It's the sixth song. I don't know if you can see it on here or not. This is from Boogie Nights 2 compilation of songs from the movie. It's Driver's Seat by Sniffin' the Tears. This is probably my favorite one-hit wonder song of all time. It's just got this melodic rock with fantastic synthesizer riffs, fine guitar work, and group leader Paul Roberts' smoldering vocals. The song always seemed a bit mysterious and dangerous, even though it was such an infectious tune. Yeah, Driver's Seat. This is from the Boogie Nights soundtrack, but Sniffin' the Tears. And my second runner-up song from Who Are You? And it's, yes, the title track, which is the closing song. I know this is a theme song of one of the CSI series, and some may tire of hearing it all the time, but I guess I didn't really watch that show. I do know that it was one of the songs, much like Walk on the Wild Side, that seemed to get away with something over the airwaves. I can remember saying, did they just say that? But anyway, it's just classic Who, and there's nothing wrong with that. And my first runner-up from the Rolling Stones, Some Girls album. Unfortunately, I got a reissue. I'm missing some of the faces here. But it's a song, Beast of Burden. It has kind of this understated, funky groove. Mick Jagger called it an attitude song and a soul-begging song. Ron Wood and Keith Richards' guitar work really meshed together so well on this one. And I think it is the highlight of this great Some Girls album. And my favorite song from 1978, from Bruce Springsteen's Darkness on the Edge of Town. It's the lead-off track, Badlands. Like I said, this is a concert staple that lists a lot of fist bumps especially during the chorus. And it's all about the struggle for survival during tough times, Clarence Clemens' sax solo and Max Weinberg's forceful drumming propel this song. I could have picked several songs off this album, but I'll stick with the standout, Badlands, my favorite song of 1978. And now for my favorite movie from 1978. The fourth runner-up is The Boys from Brazil, directed by Franklin Schaeffer, who also directed Planet of the Apes and Patton. A fine conspiracy thriller that may be a little too convoluted, but the actors seem engaged. I mean, it does have Gregory Peck and Laurence Olivier, and they make the proceedings compelling. A fun, don't think too much thriller. The Boys from Brazil, my fourth runner-up. All right, my third runner-up. Heaven Can Wait, directed by Warren Beatty and Buck Henry. Fun remake of Here Comes Mr. Jordan, this time with Warren Beatty as a football player, and that gets snapped up to heaven too early and needs to be returned in a new body, whereas the original film had the protagonist as a boxer. One of the highlights of this film is the interaction between Charles Grodin and Diane Cannon as Beatty's personal assistant and wife, having an affair and planning Beatty's demise. They are hilarious. Yeah, Heaven Can Wait, just a fun film. My third runner-up. My second runner-up is National Lampoon's Animal House, directed by John Landis. This is undoubtedly the film that I've seen the most at the theater. I kept getting friends to go see it, say, hey, you got to go see it. This is hilarious. So many from this cast went on to have fine careers. And this kind of started the flood of fraternity movies and the TV craze were different TV series, but none were as successful. And this is also one of the most quotable movies ever, Animal House. My first runner-up is Halloween. This also helped to start the slasher movie craze, but this is the gem, and it hasn't been duplicated. Wonderfully shot with nonstop suspense and a classic musical score. This has scare after scare and some devious humor thrown in. A modern horror masterpiece, Halloween. Favorite movie of 1978 is Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Another great remake that also stands up to the original. I do love both. Philip Kaufman does an amazing job of combining the sci-fi and horror genres and also adding some noirish mystery as well as some conspiracy thrillers. This is one of the best remakes, and one thing it has going over the original is the classic final scene. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, my favorite film from 1978. Now for my favorite television show from 1978. One that was under consideration, but after rewatching it, it didn't seem to hold up that well, at least to me. I don't know what you think about it, and that's Mork and Mindy with Robin Williams and Pam Dauber. I don't know, it just didn't have the same effect when I was a kid, I guess. But anyway, so my fourth runner-up is going to be Vegas. Another 70s detective series, this one in glitzy Las Vegas with Robert Urich as P.I. Dantana and Vegas showgirl Phyllis Davis and Judy Landers helping out. The coolest part is getting a nice look at 70s Las Vegas and the old classic hotels and casinos. There you see Phyllis Davis, and there's Judy Landers, Robert Urich. Third runner-up, Battlestar Galactica. Yeah. Nostalgic sci-fi series that only lasted one season. A little cheesy with dated special effects. It does have Lauren Green there leaving the Ponderosa for space as commander of the gigantic Battlestar Galactica, which contains survivors of a lengthy war with the Cylons and looking for the 13th century colony known as Earth. Fun series, Battlestar Galactica. My second runner-up is Centennial. This is an epic miniseries that was recommended by Neil of the YouTube channel, Neil's Movie Channel. I'll put a link below to his channel. But I found this for a great price at Cargo Largo. It tells the story of the growth of Colorado over 2 centuries in the town of Centennial, Colorado. My favorite part is the early episodes that deal with French-Canadian fur trapper and trader Pasquinel, played by Robert Conrad, and his interactions with the Native American tribes. Yeah, wonderful series, Centennial. My first runner-up, WKRP in Cincinnati. Hilarious TV series about a struggling radio station introducing a rock format with an ineffectual general manager, an enthusiastic new program director, right there, a sexy receptionist, Lonnie Anderson, who we lost this year, unfortunately. What else? Two crazy disc jockeys, Tim Reed and Howard Hessman, and just many others, including Jan Smithers that we see here. But anyway, one disappointment was that the great rock music they used in the show on its DVD release, because of musical rights issues, some of it was replaced with this kind of generic music. Anyway, but it had a great Thanksgiving episode as well. Fine series, just unfortunate about the music. But my favorite series from 1978 is Taxi. One of the best written sitcoms with characters that you could identify with, and also some quirky ones to spice it up. You had Danny DeVito as the mean-spirited dispatcher, Christopher Lloyd as the burned-out Reverend Jim, and Andy Kaufman as the unusual foreign country guy Latka, which nobody knew what country it was. He was one of the highlights, and with Judd Hirsch as Judd Hirsch as the veteran cabbie, and Marilu Henner as the lone female driver. These two helped give the show its humanity. Just a great TV series and a wonderful theme song as well. Taxi. And that's it for 1978. Let me know what some of your favorites were from that year, and I'll see you in 1979.